I've wanted to go fishing for some time now, and so I booked a trip, and the first thing I had to do was board, and as this video shows, it wasn't easy. It was low tide. I had to climb down those steps to get on a boat to cross over to a second boat. But once that was accomplished, the rest was just riding the boat out on the river until we got to the open water and then dropping a line. There was a lot to see. This was a nice trip. It was 2,500 baht. I'll put in the link below how much that is in US dollars as of today. But it was a good trip. There were 6 of us fishing and I believe 4 crew members, including the captain. So we headed out. We went past all these boats. I mean, there were lots of boats. There was wildlife, but there was lots of boats. And when we're going out, we're seeing on the boats a thing that looked a little bit like a J. And now I did ask the crew what it was, whether it was an owner's mark or something for luck, and they weren't sure. So we'll just leave it at that. But the boats are so colorful here. And earlier I showed you a longtail boat. That's a boat that's like a rowboat with a motor, but the motor sticks out on a rod way back behind the actual boat. Not sure why they do that, but they do. Now this is apparently a big fishing area because we saw a lot of big boats with a lot of nets where they drag the nets and they bring the fish in. And in fact, as we were going out, we went past one area where there were people up in a room that was off from the boat, and they were actually sorting the fish to take it to the market to sell later on. So it was a good trip out. It was pretty simple. As I see things, I'll bring them to your attention. Oh, by the way, the 6 people on the boat were the Hong Kong 4, which I showed you earlier, including Stephen and Winnie. Winnie was the fishing champion. We'll show you that a little bit later, too, of the day. And then a 23-year-old Aussie guy that was just vacationing, having a great time. I had a great time. I didn't catch a lot of fish, well, 5 or 6, but they were all little. But I had a great time. I did pick up a sunburn, and, well, that's what happens when you're out in the sun for 6-7 hours. And I was out in the sun for 6 or 7 hours. Even the soy dogs came to see us off, which I thought was a really nice touch, but it is what it is. You have dogs there, and you know, they have boats, they have derelicts, they have jetty. We'll see it a little bit later. Remember, right now the tide's very low, but as we get closer, we can see the jetty that goes out into the Gulf of Thailand to kind of offset the waves from a large body of water. But the day was perfect. Now it's overcast now. Eventually those clouds are gone and the sun comes out, and that's how I got my sunburn. But beautiful sights as we go. The clouds went by. We went by. This is clearly a not docked but a anchored boat. And, you know, we have the mountains in the background. We have Hua Hin in the background. We have time for us to begin fishing. As soon as we stopped here, we stopped at the first of 5 spots. I caught 8 fish or more in 4 stops. Nobody caught a fish in the 5th stop. The current was just too strong to let our bait get down to the bottom. We were fishing off a reef, and there's Winnie again, and there's one of the large fish. We caught 2 large fish, 8 to 10 inches, not really large. And that was Stephen. And Stephen and Winnie are a married couple in their 40s from Hong Kong, and they brought friends of 20 years with them to enjoy. And everybody caught fish, but Winnie caught the only ones that I would consider keepable. That said, the crew kept everything, pretty much. And then afterwards, anybody that wanted something, they just picked them out and brought them home. Now, I didn't want to take any because mine were too small to really cook anyway. So I just enjoyed the day fishing, and you can see the lights playing on the water now. We're in the sun, and it's just a beautiful trip. We're out there relaxing. We're using cut bait. They actually dropped a couple lines down with little tiny hooks and artificial lures that little fish bought. Not only did we sail through, but while we were stopped, there were fish jumping all near us, but they were little tiny fish. But then the crew would catch a couple of them and start slicing them up, using them for bait. And I have to say, the cut bait worked better than the shrimp. I was a little surprised. I thought the shrimp would be the best. I did catch fish on both the shrimp and the bait. Oh, and I love that picture. You see the barnacles on the anchor. But it was just it was a beautiful day. And we had a great time, and I can't say enough about it. Now, coming back, we had some great sights. It was a little hazy, but as you can see in these pictures and in these videos, the water was just gorgeous. We were fishing in 30 or 40 feet, not meters, feet of depth, so maybe 10, 15 meters down. And the water was, again, just an emerald green that was just gorgeous. And, I apologize when the videos aren't clear, but that is Hua Hin in the distance there, those big white buildings. And I think I have a photo coming up that kind of shows it, more clearly there. The Hong Kong 4 again, the condos, and now we're coming back. This was a great trip. I enjoyed my conversation with the people from Hong Kong, who actually spoke quite good English, and I enjoyed the sights and the sounds along the way. When we're coming back, we're going in through the jetty, up the river, and we did actually see, which I'll show you a picture of, a Coast Guard boat, naval boat. It's a Thai Navy boat, I think. That was docked, and so, like I say, you'll see a picture of it. I'll point it out when we do, but it was all pretty impressive to me. We went out. They picked me up at 7:30. We were a little delayed waiting for the other 5 people. I was there on time, and we were supposed to leave by 8, but we didn't really leave till about 8:30, quarter to 9. But we were out there plenty long enough. I mean, I think everybody was ready to come back, and they fed us while we were out there. We had some food. There was a picture earlier about the food we had, which is pretty cool. But I just loved coming in and seeing all the different boats and the colors, and it just was pretty amazing. That's a dredge, by the way, and I believe that's the ship. Yes, the Hong Kong Navy ship. So that's really, I would recommend this. It's Hua Hin Game Fishing. They're on Facebook if you just look up Hua Hin Game Fishing. And during the high season, which is coming up in the next couple weeks, they go out pretty much every day. During the low season, they have to have at least 4 people to make it worthwhile. We had 6, and we had a good time. I would have liked to caught big fish, but that's why they call it fishing and not catching. I did catch fish. I had one large one on, but he went under the rocks, and I gave it to the crew. I'm going to blame the crew on this one. Gave it to the crew to get it up, and they broke the line. Now, I would have broke the line too. It's on the barnacles down under the reef, but I still can't be me. It has to be the crew. Anyway, Tony, thanks a lot. You actually did great, quite good. I really enjoyed the crew. They were professional, they were friendly, and whenever I broke a line, they helped me out. When I got hung up on the bottom, I usually got it out myself, but occasionally I had to have them do it. So Tony and crew, I think it was Tony and Toby is who I rode with. Top-notch service, and I hope you get a lot more business in the busy season. This was just great. Just enjoy the pictures. We're getting closer. It's about time to dock. Now, just to let you know ahead of time, we did dock up next to a boat again, the same one that we had to cross over to get onto the boat. And when he tied us down and we got on, the tide was higher, so that I didn't have to use those stairs I showed you earlier, which was good for me because without a rail, the stairs are hard for me because of my knee. But what I did have to do is I had to climb over the rail and then onto the rail of the next boat, and then I had to climb up on the rail of the last boat and actually step across maybe a foot wide chasm onto the actual dock. And then we walked out and I got a ride home. Now this is great service, by the way. Tony and Toby gave me, and I apologize if it's not Toby. I just really don't remember. But Tony for sure gave me a ride from my house to the dock and from the dock back to my house. And here's the fish that we caught. Again, only 2 of them were large, but there were a lot.
YouTube gives us several options for end credits. One of the things that I like is the fact that if you like this video and want to see more like it, you can just click on that and they'll appear for you automatically. But on the other hand, YouTube often likes to recommend videos that they think you would like. And if you want to see those, you click on that. And as always, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel. And if you do that, click on the logo down there and you can get all of our videos when they come out. Thanks for watching. Be sure to click, like, share, comment. We accept it all.